Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
This morning on GMSA, a parking lot fight at a Southside bar ends in a shooting. What police are saying about the victims.
Plus, as we return to class, school safety is on everyone's mind this morning. We'll share how law enforcement is getting ready to respond in future situations.
Sure did enjoy some rain yesterday. Right now, 8 a.m., 73 degrees. Mike Osterhage is in for Sarah Spivey. What can we expect this Sunday? He'll let us know in just a bit. But first, good morning. It's 8 o'clock, Sunday, September 4th, and we have Jonathan Cotto back
right.
again.
I'm happy to be here, San Antonio. And, I have to say, I really enjoyed the rain. It was a lovely experience. Windows were up.
It was a nice, let's sit on the porch. Right before coffee, maybe right before dinner, have a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah, it was wonderful. I enjoyed it.
Glass of wine. Mike, did you see any rain in your neighborhood?
Yes, I did. The heavy stuff, because watching that, that gust front, that outflow boundary, we started moving through right around dinner time, late afternoon, and really knocked some of the humidity on, dropped temperatures down, because it was pretty sultry yesterday. We did make it up to 93, and then the really, really heavy rain stayed up there on the north side, but a little bit closer to downtown. Yes, we did see some rain, and officially out there at the airport picked up just shy of an inch, a little more than 9/10 of an inch, but some folks over there right around 1604, Northwest Military Highway, Chavano Park area, some radar estimates more than 3 inches of rain, which was absolutely beautiful. 73 degrees as of right now. We've bottomed out at 73 this morning, and as you can see, do have some clouds hanging around here, and that's going to continue to be the case throughout the rest of the day. A lot of clouds, 88 for a high temperature, which is 5 degrees below normal. Now, we are still going to have plenty of humidity out there, though. The aquifer went up half a foot yesterday. Beautiful news there. And a lot of rain yesterday fell in the recharge zone, so that aquifer should continue to go up. Mold's on the high side and fall elm is low. So as far as radar right now, as you can see, we do have still a couple of these showers well down there to the south. They've been holding in there fairly tough. That area of rain was a lot more pronounced, a lot more widespread earlier this morning. And a lot of the more widespread stuff has sort of fizzled on out. But as you can see, we still right around Cotulla right there. We've still got a fairly decent amount of rain. It almost looks like this is wanting to sit still. So just to the northwest of Cotulla, northeast of Cotulla, east of Dilley, you want to watch it, as these are almost sort of sitting in one spot. That's the problem when you have these decent downpours and they don't move all that quickly, and we get a little bit of some low level flooding, or low lying areas, some flooding there, and that's the same situation there in southern Atascosa County, a couple of those showers. So down here to the south, watch out for some of this rain. Elsewhere further up to the north, we don't have anything. A couple of sprinkly showers there in Zavala County. So that's what, taking into account 20% chance of a shower around this morning, those down to the south. Low 70s, even some upper 60s in parts of the hill country, and we're going to make it up to 82 at noon, mostly cloudy skies. And like I said, keep a fair amount of clouds around today, 88 for a high temperature, 30% chance for a few showers, a thunderstorm or two. Most of us aren't going to see any rain today, so if you have outdoor plans, I wouldn't change them. Just kind of, keep the weather app handy and check out radar, because 1 or 2 will pop up here and there. About the same situation tomorrow as well. We'll take a look ahead to the first full week of September, the unofficial end of summer tomorrow. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Jonathan.
Thank you, Mike. New this morning, San Antonio police are investigating an overnight shooting outside a bar on the city's south side. SAPD says a man was shot twice outside of Thirsty's after a fight in the parking lot broke out. The suspects got away, but the victim was taken to the hospital, and police say that person is expected to be okay. Now, a second person was also shot, but taken by friends to Mission Trails Hospital. That person also expected to be okay.
And we have now learned the name of a man who was killed in a stabbing last Friday, and the suspect is facing charges. The Bexar County Medical Examiner says 62-year-old Victor Ochoa was the man found at a home on Inglewood Drive near West Avenue and I-10. Police say the suspect, who was still inside the home, called 911. The man told dispatchers he hurt someone before hanging up and calling again several more times. The suspect is now charged with murder.
Well, in the aftermath of recent school shootings, safety is a major concern for parents, students, and communities everywhere.
That's right. Those concerns are now in the spotlight here after the deadly school shooting in Uvalde. As the community continues to heal, students are preparing to return to class this Tuesday.
School safety is a topic of our latest Solutionaries piece, and our GMSA Stephen Cavazos took part by showing us how one organization is preparing law enforcement to be ready to respond better to incidents like Uvalde. Just take a look.
See those little faces on those crosses? It's not right. This should not have been something that happened.
I've never been scared like this before.
If we don't change nothing, it's going to be the same and it's going to happen again and again.
It's unbelievable. And your mind instantly goes back to the kids that you know in your life, the ones that are supposed to be enjoying those last days of school, hanging out with their friends and laughing. And to know that they spent those last few moments of their life in terror, it's emotionally scarring.
So many parents are just trying to come to terms with the news that they're hearing today.
People really all over the country who have come here to pay their respects to the 21 victims of the Robb Elementary shooting.
These are not just headlines. These are people's lives. These are lives that were lost that day. Whenever you have a situation like that unfolds, and when you see that delayed response, it turns to anger and frustrations.
What you see is the typical police response time is about 3 minutes. So that's lightning fast. You're not going to get any faster than that unless you're lucky and there just happens to be a police officer standing right there when it starts. Of course, the event doesn't end just because that first officer arrives on scene. And so that's the number we're talking about. From 911 call to first officer on scene is about 3 minutes. Obviously, then the officer has to figure out where the attacker is, go find the attacker, and stop the killing. So that can take longer than that. I'm Pete Blair. I'm the executive director of the Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training Center at Texas State University. We're currently out at our range facility in Maxwell, Texas. We actually have a staff of researchers who are involved in looking at not only the events to find out what the patterns and trends are in the events, but also at specific techniques and tactics and how those work and comparing which ones work better than the others. And then we publish that in peer-reviewed journals.
They heavily rely on that research to guide them in understanding these situations that happen and how to better prepare for that.
Anytime we have a major attack, there's always an uptick in the number of requests, but our requests have gone up about tenfold in the month following Uvalde and have continued on from there. Each kit is designed to allow the location that receives the kit to teach the entire course. So it's got all the equipment you need to teach our particular courses. We can either send our instructors out to the location and they teach the course themselves, or we also have a train the trainer program that's designed to have that agency develop their own trainers that can then provide that training.
Each situation is not the same. They can only take what they learn from one situation and apply it to the next.
You have to train them constantly. You have to equip them with the equipment that they need if they're going to perform on the day when the attack happens. It's not like just being a police officer gets you experience and all of a sudden you're this tactical genius who can handle these complex situations. So because you're not developing that practice and that skill on the job every day, you have to train to develop that skill so on those rare days that you do need it, you have that skill set in place.
This is just one story that's part of our larger Solutionaries piece about school safety.
The whole episode includes stories from our other sister stations in Houston, Detroit, Orlando, Jacksonville, and Roanoke. You can watch the entire piece right now on KSAT.com, on the KSAT Plus app, and on our Solutionaries YouTube channel.
The time is 8:09 and it's 73 degrees.
Still to come on GMSA, with things like COVID and monkeypox flying around, it's easy to forget about getting your flu shot. So where can you find them for free? That's coming up before 8:30.
Plus, it took 3 overtimes for Houston to escape San Antonio with a win over UTSA. We'll look at who the Roadrunners play next for a chance to earn their first win of the season.
73 degrees right now at 8:09. You can see some of those clouds hanging around. Will we see rain like we did yesterday evening? Mike will let us know when we come back.
This morning, UTSA has started off the season off on the wrong foot, but folks, there's no need to panic.
So the reigning Conference USA champs, they fell, unfortunately, to number 24 Houston, but held their own game and almost pulled it off. So the Roadrunners unveiled their 2021 conference championship banner in front of a huge crowd of over 37,000 fans packed in the dome. So of course it was loud. You could feel the energy the entire game. UTSA led 21-7 before Houston came back to tie the game up at 21, and the Cougars actually took the lead 24-21 with just 23 seconds left.
UTSA got the ball back with no timeouts and got a field goal to force overtime, tied at 24. The game went to triple overtime before Houston punched in a 2-point conversion, taking the lead 37-35. UTSA couldn't answer, and Houston Cougars hang on to win in a thriller that's being called an instant classic.
This one hurts so much as we know we belong and we didn't get it done, and that's on me. And it wasn't our kids. Our kids were fantastic. There were just some big time moments against a really great team that you just can't make those kind of mistakes against. It's part of the learning curve. It was a tough one to learn on because we really thought we played so great for so long.
Coach Shedder wanted us to keep our head up. You know, he takes the blame, but I definitely take the blame myself. That last play, I forgot to send him in motion, so it's hard on me right now. We got to just come out there, tomorrow, learn from everything, good, bad, and get ready for next week.
So looking ahead, UTSA will play at Navy next Saturday at 11 a.m.
And despite the loss, fans say they were just glad to see the Roadrunners back on the field. Tailgating was definitely back in full swing ahead of the matchup. The big activities were hosted by the UTSA Alumni Association, which included food, drinks, giveaways, and a special appearance from Super Bowl MVP and San Antonio XFL head coach Hines Ward. And I believe the weather, for the most part, since they were tailgating earlier in the afternoon, probably just played nice for them.
Yeah, saw a tent set up there, so it was pretty humid to tailgate yesterday, but it was nice. Boy, that second touchdown the UTSA got, I was watching it a little bit, and when Harris, kind of and then just, man, he's got some wheels on him. So, yeah, when he dove in for that second touchdown, that was a fun game to watch.
Just the start of the season, though.
Yeah, that's right. Good for them. Plus, now they had never beaten a top 25 team, and, to first game of the season, because usually, maybe for Houston, they were thinking it was one of those blow-off games, but, that was a tough matchup on the first game of the season, going against number 24, so good for them.
Yeah.
But, it was a fun game to watch, so. All right. Yeah, there was some rain out there for some of the tailgaters. Well, the threat of rain. And as you see in that picture, boy, it's an absolutely gorgeous shot there. That KSAT Connect shot. Nice rain over there by SeaWorld. And just got a note from one of our viewers down there. They live right off Highway 541, Atascosa, close to the Wilson County line. They picked up almost 2 inches of rain yesterday, and they said they've had soaking rains for about 2 weeks now, totaling 10 to 11 inches worth. Some folks have seen a whole bunch, and this has just been literally a godsend. Thank you very much for that KSAT Connect picture and the email that you sent. And a lot of clouds hanging around here right now. We're going to keep plenty around throughout the day, and so that's going to help to hold temperatures down. And then also a few more showers will be popping up. So in and around town, Nothing showing up on radar as of right now. This is just a little bit of kind of some clutter around the area. But further on down to the south, right here, southern Atascosa, got a couple of these showers. And then this batch of rain right here in the northeastern, just to the southeast of Dilley and just to the east of Cotulla. That batch of rain is almost wanting to sit still. So you want to watch out for, well, not only those heavy downpours, but when they don't move and it just continues to rain one on top of the other. So right there, you want to watch out for maybe a little bit of some flooding. And then further off to the west, we've got a couple of more showers there just to the northwest of Crystal City. But again, this little spot right there just to the east of I-35 heading down to the southwest. You want to watch out for some of that heavier rain there. And a few more showers, obviously, then going down 37 in toward Beeville. Now, as far as rainfall totals in the past 24 hours, some of the radar estimates, I mean, it has been, well, some hefty downpours all scattered about the area. Off to the west, just right around La Pryor, almost 4 inches of rain, 3.7 to be exact. We had a lot of 2-3 inch rainfall amounts, at least the estimates on radar. This one band right here from roughly San Marcos over toward eastern Kerr County. Again, 1.5, 2, 3, almost 4 inches of rain or a little more than 4 inches of rain just to the east of Canyon Lake. And then in the immediate vicinity, it was up there on the north side, right around Chavano Park. Got the lion's share yesterday with those heavy storms that moved on through, just over 3 inches of rain. And even on the west side of town, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, 2 inches there, just about around Castroville. At the airport, officially picked up 9/10 of an inch, or just a little bit more than 9/10 of an inch of rain. So 20% chance for a couple of showers hanging around here today. You know, most of it's going to be that leftover stuff down there to the south of us. And then 85 degrees today at 2 o'clock, 88 for a high temperature today. And we'll have a slightly better chance for a few more showers and thunderstorms. I don't think they're going to be as widespread as yesterday. Just a couple of them popping up here and there. And then temperatures will continue to drop down and rain chances will start to go away as then we go into the evening hours. Now, as far as the humidity, there's the problem that we are dealing with as far as keeping that around there. So it is going to be a very sultry afternoon, kind of like what it was yesterday. But again, with the humidity and the cloud cover, now that helps keep thermometer readings down. Of course, we will have somewhat of a heat index to deal with on top of that. And the humidity is going to be sticking around for the next few days. So that'll be something, unfortunately, we have to deal with. But the nice thing is, at least some of that's getting squeezed out in the form of some rain. 82 at noon, mostly cloudy skies. So we'll have a couple of these sprinkly showers hanging around here this morning, and then start to refire somewhat later on this afternoon. If you have outdoor plans, I would not change them. Just again, keep the app handy, check out radar, see if any showers are popping up in your area. 88 for a high temperature today with a couple of those showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, you know, pretty much the same situation. 1 or 2 of those showers here and there, 90 for a high temperature. Tuesday, 91. We'll start to kind of heat up a little bit more. Wednesday's going to be the next day with a slightly better chance for a few showers. You know, 1 or 2 pop-ups here or there really can't totally be ruled out almost any day this week, but I don't even have it listed on there. And then we are going to start to warm up a bit more going in toward the weekend. I think more sunshine later on in the week as well, up to 95. So it's looking like a nice week. It will be on the drier side compared to last week. I can't believe I'm saying that after all this beautiful rain, that we get a chance to dry out just a little bit. But yeah, good looking forecast.
I love it.
Definitely is. Labor Day weekend, lots of folks hitting out the great outdoors. No need to cancel plans. No. Again, a couple of showers here or there. So right. Just plan accordingly.
Mostly hit or miss. We'll just have to watch out down there, like I said, to the east of Cotulla this morning for some of those showers and the heavier downpours just kind of sitting in one spot.
And cooler temps compared to those triple digits. So we'll take it.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Below normal.
Yes.
We're exaggerating. Time is 8:21, 73 degrees outside.
All right, up next, don't look now, but flu season. It's approaching fast. After the break, where you can find free flu shots and what you need to do to get one.
This month, University Health and Bexar County are teaming up to offer free flu shots during drive-through clinics.
The drive-through clinics start this month through October. The shots will be offered to anyone 6 months and older, but you will have to register in advance as it is required. Health officials say although flu cases have been down in the last 2 years, that may not be the case this year as people are starting to gather and be around large crowds. So anyone interested in getting a flu shot is required to register online. The first clinic will be Saturday, September 10th from 8 to noon at the Dub Ferris Athletic Complex, which is located at 8400 North Loop 1604. The second clinic will be on Saturday, September 24th. And like we mentioned, these are throughout October as well. So you can just visit our website to check out those later dates.
That's right. Time is 8:26, 73 degrees outside.
Still to come at 8:30, bizarre story out of Mississippi involving a stolen plane, a threatening pilot, and a Walmart. We'll explain everything in your morning headlines.
Plus, how one festival is honoring the lives and families of victims in Uvalde ahead of the return to class later this week. That's coming up next. Good morning, San Antonio. I'm Jonathan Cotto.
And I'm Sarah Acosta. It's Sunday, September 4th. It's 8:30 and 73 degrees. Mike, it is humid, and we did have some rain yesterday in the evening. Some places all up to 3 inches. Is that going to be the same story today?
Well, there'll be fewer and further between as far as any showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. You could have a decent downpour if you do happen to get one. If you got some outdoor plans later on today, I wouldn't change them at all because we are going to be seeing, just more of a scattered variety as far as any of these showers. So right now, as you can see, 73 degrees out there at the airport. Dew point stands at 71 right now, and we've just got that little bit of a breeze there out of the northwest. And a couple of showers are still falling right down there, right around northeastern LaSalle County, McMullen County, and even a couple of them over there in Zavala. But these have sort of been kind of sitting in one spot, as you can see that little patch right there. And as far as the rainfall rates, that's what you want to look at, because it's coming down at a fairly good clip. Not anything just really, toad stranglers at all or anything like that, or gully washers. However, it's given the fact that these things are just sort of sitting in one spot. So right here, we've got rainfall rates coming down at about almost 3 inches per hour. And given the fact that these things are sitting in one spot, you are going to get some fairly decent rain associated with that. So do keep that in mind. Down there in northeastern LaSalle County. But elsewhere, as far as radar is concerned, a little bit further up to the north, there's really not much of anything showing up here in southern Atascosa County. Still have a couple of these showers, and this is all just a little bit of some clutter around here. So later on this afternoon, a couple of more of these showers going to be popping up here and there. Not really, again, a washout or anything, but just keep an eye on radar as you go through the day. If you have some outdoor plans, heading to the pool, something like that, barbecuing outside. 73 degrees out there at the airport, some upper 60s in parts of the hill country. The aquifer, nice big jump yesterday, went up a little more than 1.5 feet. Fantastic, 637, and molds on the high side. Still waiting for the update on that. I would imagine it's still going to be on the high side, given all the moisture in the ground. A little bit of fall elm is showing up. So a couple of showers, primarily south, humid. Stays humid all day long. A couple more showers, a thunderstorm here or there. And then tomorrow, about the same situation. Upper 80s today, 90 tomorrow. Lesser rain chances going on in through the rest of the week. Temperatures low and then approaching mid 90s toward the end of the week. Details in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Jonathan.
Thank you, Mike. New this morning, Comal ISD is investigating accusations of racist comments made during a Canyon High School volleyball game. These allegations come after a Friday night game between Canyon and Hayes High School. There are reports members of the Canyon student section made racist comments towards members of the Hayes High School volleyball team. The Comal ISD superintendent says they are investigating these allegations, and if found to be true, those responsible will be disciplined. We will have more on this story throughout the day. Just stay with us, and we'll have updates on KSAT.com. Also new this morning, a man is facing charges after police say he robbed and hit a DoorDash driver, causing him to lose consciousness. This is 21-year-old Christopher Gould. According to an arrest affidavit, Gould got into a verbal argument with the victim, who had just picked up a DoorDash order. This all happening back in June. Gould is accused of assaulting the victim, causing him to black out. The victim then woke up to being choked by Gould, causing him to lose consciousness again. The suspect then left the location with a female in a vehicle and leaned out of the vehicle to take the victim's phone. Now Gould faces a couple of charges, including aggravated robbery.
And we have new details of a story we first told you on the Night Beat last night. BCSO has found a truck driver accused of, listen to this, using a flatbed trailer as a battering ram on the highway. 30-year-old Judy Aguilar is facing 2 felony counts for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and failure to stop and render aid causing bodily injury. The Bexar County Sheriff says Aguilar was originally going to turn himself in after some encouragement from co-workers. Deputies say the whole thing has started as a road rage situation. Both drivers got out and got into a verbal confrontation. The sheriff says that's when Aguilar allegedly ran the victim over and took off. The man was able to take a picture of the truck before he got away, but he's still suffering from a shattered leg.
This morning, the search continues for a woman who vanished over 4 months ago. Jordan Tompkins is one of the 3 people that has not been seen in the Lake Hills area that's just outside of Medina Lake. She was last seen wearing a black top and pink shoes, leaving the Medina Lake Country Club back in April. You're urged to call Bandera Sheriff's Office if you have any information about where she might be. Today is the last day of Uvalde's Palomino Festival and Rodeo.
It's also the last big event before Uvalde students head back to class this Tuesday.
The county fairplex was filled with carnival rides, food, and rodeo fun. This year's event had a special theme of Uvalde Strong. Saturday started with a parade where the families of the 21 Robb Elementary School victims made a special float with their loved ones' names and faces proudly displayed.
The board organizing Palomino Fest debated putting on the festival, but decided for it because they could use the weekend to honor those who were killed and donate to those who were hurt.
We decided that the $25,000, instead of going to the scholarships, it's going to go to the families of the students that were injured.
Now, tonight is the final night of Palomino Fest. Gates open at 5 p.m. There will be a special tribute to the 21 Robb victims during the Los Palominos performance at 9 p.m. And on the Night Beat, we are taking a look back to a walkout that happened in Uvalde CISD in the 70s.
I'm hoping that we can develop something that's going to be more permanent than what we did back in the 70s. Even though, like I said, I'm not complaining, and I think we did wonderful back in the 70s with what we had and for what we were doing. But I think we can do a much better job today.
Abelardo Castillo is the only living non-student organizer of the walkout. He's been contacted by families and the community to help organize another movement. We'll have that story tonight on the Night Beat at 10.
Well, topping your morning headlines, a major development in the search for a school teacher in Tennessee that has not been seen.
Now, police say they found the car they believe was involved in the kidnapping. ABC's Mola Lengi has the latest from Memphis.
This morning, a breakthrough in the search for Memphis mom Eliza Fletcher. Police said they found the vehicle of interest and detained the man who was inside it. Eliza nowhere to be found.
It's now been a number of hours since they detained an individual that was in the car allegedly used in this abduction. I have real concerns about her well-being because it's just been too long.
More than anything, we want to see Liza returned home safely.
Her family pleading for someone to come forward, offering a $50,000 reward.
We believe someone knows what happened and can help.
ABC affiliate WATN confirming Fletcher is the granddaughter of a prominent businessman and philanthropist and the niece of the city's chief legal officer.
Possible abduction earlier today for Ms. Liz Fletcher.
The 34-year-old kindergarten teacher reported missing Friday after she did not return from an early morning run. Police saying a dark SUV approached her around 4:30 a.m. and forced her inside the car. Police seen collecting a laptop and garden shears while at her home Friday. Also towing a white Wagoneer parked out front. Authorities saying they found her water bottle and cell phone near where she was reportedly abducted.
Our whole church deeply loves the Fletcher family.
Her church holding a vigil for Eliza.
We're deeply pained and sorrowed by what's going on, and we're praying for her safe return.
38-year-old Cleotha Abston has been arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping. A second person has also been arrested, although they are not believed to be directly connected to this abduction. Multiple agencies are involved in this ongoing investigation, including the FBI. Mola Lengi, ABC News, Memphis.
Well, meanwhile, the Minnesota State Fair closed early Saturday after a shooting sent one person to the hospital. Hundreds of people were seen fleeing the Midway after gunfire erupted. Police say one person was shot and was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Now, over in Mississippi, there is good news on the state's water crisis. In a Facebook post Saturday, city officials say most of Jackson's residents should have near normal water pressure. The city is still under a boil water notice, but the improved water pressure is an important step forward. Teams from Georgia and Florida are on site to help repair and restore some of the automated systems. Meanwhile, work continues to restore a few remaining pockets of low or no water pressure south of the city.
Also in Mississippi, the man who allegedly set off an emergency scramble with a stolen plane is now behind bars. 29-year-old Corey Patterson is facing several criminal charges after police say he snatched a twin-engine plane and then threatened to intentionally crash it into a Walmart. Police negotiators eventually convinced him to crash land that plane, and he did so without any injuries.
Now, over in Cape Canaveral, Florida, NASA isn't saying when they could try to launch their Artemis rocket after scrubbing Saturday's launch. Now, the crews had been wrestling with a hydrogen leak from the moment they started Saturday's countdown. It's the second time NASA's uncrewed test flight to send the Orion space capsule around the moon and back has been called off.
All right, it's 8:40 and 73 degrees.
That's right, and still ahead on GMSA, a World War II hero in his 90s is still serving, but in a very different way. We'll tell you what he's up to in just a few minutes.
And up next, if you're looking for a new fur baby, a new adoption special is offering heavy discounts for big dogs this weekend. How you can get involved next.
And taking a look outside, San Antonio's looking beautiful. It's 73 degrees. Will we have some rain? We'll have that information coming up on GMSA. This morning on KSAT.com, San Antonio Pets Alive is offering discounts to anyone who wants to become new owners of a big dog this weekend.
I have two big dogs. love big dogs. They're
Super cute.
special. Get this. It's called We Like Big Mutts. See what they did there? All right. They are offering $10 adoptions for any dog weighing more than 35 pounds. This will take place at all San Antonio Pet Alive locations. To find out more on where the locations are, you can visit our website. Here's the thing. When you have a big dog, you have a permanent partner for walks. So
and yours are the cutest, Sarah, I have to say.
Thank you. Yours too.
Well, this fall, the San Antonio Zoo wants you to check out the first ever Zoo Fest. It's happening at the Sunken Garden Theater on Saturday, October 22nd. Guests can expect music, dancing, food, drinks, VIP experiences, and admission to the San Antonio Zoo. We have more information about both these stories on our website, KSAT.com.
Okay.
You know, the nice thing about not just big dogs, but the older dogs like that, too, when you adopt, the puppies are real cute and they got the puppy breath and all that, but you know exactly what you're going to be getting personality-wise.
That's right.
Usually housebroken.
Yes, they can usually sit.
Yep.
And they, I feel like, are a little more appreciative because they know that they've been rescued or saved.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
When they get that couch and they take over the couch, then they're like, okay.
After they've been in a shelter for so many years, you know, they're like, oh, I've made it in life. They love you for it.
This is what it's like on this couch. So yeah.
And then they make your way into the bed, and then the house is theirs.
But that's a
grateful eyes.
Great deal though with the big dogs. $10, and like you said, you got a walking partner, and with some of the younger ones, tennis ball in the backyard. Kids, dogs, everybody's going to sleep really good. So speaking of really good, look at this picture. And we've been getting so many of these KSAT Connect pictures of these rain gauges out there in Live Oak. And as it says, it was just coming down consistently, which is a beautiful thing. We will have a few more showers, a couple of thunderstorms around later on today, but probably not as widespread. Going to keep a lot of these clouds around, though, throughout the day, and so that's going to help with temperatures as far as keeping them down. Now, as far as rain right now, this is just a little bit of kind of some cluttery type stuff, but then further on down here to the south, got some pretty good downpours coming down at the rate of about 3 inches per hour. So not the really heavy stuff. But the thing is, and as you put this into motion on the loop here, right there in northeastern LaSalle County, they're not really moving all that much. So a lot of rain at times has fallen down here to the south. You want to watch out in some of the low-lying areas, maybe a little bit of flooding. Then also right here just to the west of 37, got some pretty good downpours as well there in northeastern Live Oak County. So just keep an eye out for some of these throughout the next couple of hours, because they are kind of holding in there fairly tough. And obviously that's the one thing that we're going to have to be dealing with today, or on the lookout for today, I should say, is the somewhat heavy downpours here and there. But here in town, we don't have anything showing up as of right now, just a little bit of some clutter around the radar site right there. So 73 degrees here in town, upper 60s in parts of the hill country. And yes, it is humid out there. We've got dew points, especially around Stinson, as well as Poteet, 74. That's fog up your glasses kind of humidity. But these dew point temperatures are actually down compared to what they were yesterday morning when it was just a steam bath out there. And that helped to feed, obviously, some of those heavier downpours. So 20% chance of rain this morning, taking into account what's down to the south. And then maybe kind of a lull in the action, then start to pick back up again. But again, it's going to be fewer and a little bit further between than what we had around here yesterday. 30% chance for a shower or thunderstorm, and 88 for a high temperature, so we will be 5 degrees below normal. Yesterday we did hit 93, did pop up to 93 degrees. That is a normal high temperature this time of year. And as far as dew points, though, well, the line kind of moved around on me a little bit, but dew points are going to be staying up in the 60s, upper 60s, low 70s today, which means it is going to be a very humid, very sultry day. 82 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. High temperature makes it up to 88 today. And if you got outdoor plans today, got outdoor plans tomorrow, wouldn't change them at all. Just kind of keep an eye on the radar. Just download the app. Easiest thing to do. And one or two of those showers and thunderstorms out there. Like I said, just a 30% chance. And that's going to be the situation tomorrow as well. 90 for a high temperature, the unofficial end of summer. And then the next okay chance of rain, really, each and every day, if there's a stray shower popping up here and there, you can't be 100% ruled out, but 20% chance of a shower or two on Wednesday. And then after that, pretty much just a lot of sunshine mixed in with the couple of clouds here and there, and low to mid 90s.
What's the official start day of fall?
It is the 22nd of September. So we're still, 2 weeks away from that? Almost 3 weeks away from the official start of fall.
Okay. So I can start busting out the sweaters and 80 degrees when?
And the scarves. How long have you lived here to know when to...
A girl can dream, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
You can take out the sweater. It's going to be hot, but...
All right, it's 8:50 and 73 degrees.
Now here's a look at what's coming up tomorrow on GMSA.
"You'll never make me put this to my head again," my mom said as she held the gun up in front of me. This is an example of the length she was willing to go in order to cause emotional damage, despite my undying love for her. One of my favorite candies.
From homeless to hero, tomorrow on GMSA, we'll introduce you to a veteran who is doing great things despite the odds being stacked against her. You don't want to miss this incredible story. This morning, a 94-year-old war veteran has continued to serve others for the past 32 years. He welcomes patients at Shriners Children's Hospital in St. Louis.
Love this story. Since Carl Hall's retirement in 1990, he's dedicated his time to making children smile. So Carl is well known at the hospital. To many, he's considered a hero for treating everyone like family. Carl also finds joy in doing the simple things like handing out toys to kids.
He loves the patients, and his biggest joy is seeing the patients smile when he gives them a gift and talk to them and have a conversation about how special Shriners is to them.
So there he is. Carl says he plans to help and volunteer at Shriners Hospital as long as he can. You go, Carl.
Thank you for your service, Carl. And before we go, a story that's getting some positive traction on social media.
They may not be as stubborn as mules, but some goats in Massachusetts, they refuse to get off a busy road. So take a look. Responding police officers worked to round them up without much luck until one of them had an idea, luring them in with a pack of McDonald's French fries. Those seem to do the trick as officers used the fries to get the goats to safety. It's not exactly known how the goats got out, onto the road or where they even ended up. But I mean, I think fries would work for me too.
Oh,
Mike.
maybe the hash browns. I love hash browns.
Both, yeah. Still a few showers well down there in LaSalle, McMullen counties. Just keep an eye out for some of those heavier downpours, but it's not anything too extreme right now. 74 degrees now here in town, and throughout the day we're going to make it up to 88. A couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jonathan. So great to have you.
Always happy to be here,
weekend.
Sarah.
Hope everyone has a great Sunday.